Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Pretty Nerdz podcast. This is your girl, Nay.
And this is your girl, Falan DeAnn.
All right. So, Falan DeAnn, how's everything been going for you?
It's been going. Tired as usual. But it's been going. How about yourself?
Pretty good, good things. Finally getting back in. Well, I've been in the gym, but I haven't been focused on my diet. So I'm really trying to pressure myself to focus hardcore on my diet so I can get the results that I 100% desire. Like I'm 100 like laser focused now on my diet portion because I got the gym portion down, but I got to really laser focus in on my diet so I can finally meet my goals this year.
So I got a question for you. Are you still vegan?
So no. I still don't eat like a ton of meat, but I found that being vegan now, nothing against to all of the people who are vegan because it's super healthy lifestyle and I have no like really negative complaints about it. It's just that in order for me to meet the goals that I'm looking for body wise, I just wasn't able to do it. Like when you're vegan, you tend to have to eat a lot of carbs and my body just can't sustain that. Like I ate way too much carbs and I gained a lot more weight than when I just ate, was just eating meat. So that's why I switched back. I still don't eat a shit ton of meat. I still eat plant-based pretty much. I want to say, 2 or 3 times a week basically. But I did add some meat back in there just so that I could cut down on my carb consumption.
Okay. Yeah. Well, welcome back to the dark side. No.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back up in this. Yeah, I'm back out here in these streets. So now when I go out to eat, I can eat regular stuff and I don't have to be so picky.
I feel like I need a vacation do-over.
Absolutely. Me too. Okay. 100% agree with you because there's some definite things that I would like to try that I didn't get to experience last time. But anywho, so let's go ahead and jump into these hot topics for this week.
Pretty Nerdz, 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 Pretty Nerdz.
I guess just to start off light, which I'm excited for. I know people talk about him like bad, and we have as well. But Safari and Erica Mena, they welcomed their baby girl. He seems so excited. I'm like, oh, I'm excited for them.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, I do it for the show, whatever, but I don't know. I'm just hoping everything worked out for them. And it feels so genuine. It doesn't feel like it was like rushed or anything like that. So I'm excited.
You're absolutely correct. They genuinely seem like they're in love and like they like each other. They fit. I mean, listen, we've seen odder couples. So, the baby was cute. They seem happy with it. Salute to them. We're always going to congratulate on babies.
I know. But that was, I think, the lightest thing that I had for this week.
A simple quick mention. New York Fashion Week is going on. Yeah. I don't really have any hot takes from that.
I don't know if you saw Rihanna's outfit, like the orange. I didn't like it. And I think it was the makeup that I didn't really like. No. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know. A lot of people have been saying that they haven't been feeling Rihanna's style as of late. I personally think she's just growing and maturing and she's trying to find, because I mean, we all know it. Your body is completely different from, from teens to the 20s. into your 30s. Like shit changes, it becomes completely different. Your hips get bigger, some people's hips get smaller, some people get more boobs, don't get like I ain't gonna lie, like I have never had boobs in my life, and I feel like now that I'm in my 30s, I done went up like 2 cup sizes, or at least a cup size and a half. And I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with these? I don't want these boobs. You know what I mean? So, needless to say, I feel her pain because I have no idea. I'm like, I don't like these boobs. Where do they come from? but yeah. So I just think she's still cute to me. I still feel like, but like you said, sometimes, you know, I guess now she's joined the realm of the rest of us where it's either hit or miss, you know?
Yeah.
But aside from that, you haven't really seen a lot of stars or a lot of people showing up for New York Fashion Week. We saw, Christian Siriano's show had a lot of beautiful people there. Leslie Jones looked gorgeous. All my girl from Pose, I can't remember her name right now. I'm blanking on her name, but I adore her. She plays Angel on Pose. She looked gorgeous. Just tons. Zendaya is out there looking gorgeous. New York Fashion Week. But yeah, the usual.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Zendaya, I just found another topic that just popped in my head. Speaking of Zendaya, they are saying that she is rumored to be dating her Euphoria co-star. I think his name is like Jacob something or whatnot. I don't know. I didn't watch Euphoria, but yeah. Anyway, if that interests you, because I yeah. But yeah, congrats to them. I mean, I seen a picture of them. They looked cute together. She looked happy, so congrats to them. It is weird, strange though, that she always seems to be linked to her co-stars. But other than that, they're cute, so it is what it is. All right, I guess we can jump into the other mess of the week because there's nothing really, I guess nothing else out there that's really like pressing or that we can talk about as far as hot topics. So I guess we can jump right into the mess that's been going on. You want to kick us off?
Yeah. So of course, this past week, I forget what day it was. I feel like it was it Tuesday or Wednesday? There was a very short clip that was released from an interview of Gayle King and Lisa Leslie. Gayle King asked Lisa Leslie a question. It was like a small follow-up in regards to Kobe Bryant's sexual assault allegations. I think Leslie did a good job with answering her question. Of course, people were upset that she even asked because he has passed away. So how did you feel? Because I know you're like a fan.
So here's my takeaway on it. I wasn't feeling it. I don't like it. I didn't like it at all. So a couple of things. Just a sidebar, like you said, I am a huge Kobe Bryant fan. Stated that. I told y'all, for some people it's MJ, for some it's LBJ, for me it's Kobe. He's my GOAT. So huge Kobe Bryant fan. That's number one. Number two, I am not the biggest Gayle King fan / Oprah fan, either one of them. So that's just giving just giving some preface before I kind of give my opinion on it. But I will say I don't like, and I definitely can't stand behind or condone all of like the people getting on there calling her out her name, the disrespect. Like I'll never stand on or be okay with the disrespect and kind of like the disgustingness I've seen thrown at at a black woman. Can't stand on that. Can't be okay with it. As a black woman myself, I never like to see a black woman being disrespected. So on that regard, I do not like the way that like Snoop Dogg, Bootsy, folks like that have been throwing like the insults and just calling her out her name, like the disrespect and all that. Oprah claims that she was receiving death threats or whatnot. Like all that shit is over the top, ugly, not cool in any shape or regard. As in regards to the interview itself, I didn't like it because for me, it comes down to the difference between being a good journalist and a bad journalist. To me, a good journalist exercises journalistic integrity. And in exercising journalistic integrity, you have to take into account the current situation, the culture. You have to take into account who you're interviewing. And you know what I'm saying? And for me, she did none of that. If that clip would have been of her sitting down with Carrie Champion, Stephen A. Smith, Jamel Hill, and she brought up the rape charge or the case, I would expect that because they are sports journalists. The majority of them were around during the time of the case. They could speak to it. They you know what I'm saying? They could speak to it better, navigate it better in a more sensitive way. You know what I mean? So I would expect that if she was sitting down with one of them, I wouldn't have batted an eye. But the fact that she was sitting down with Lisa Leslie, who was one of his friends, she's another dominant LA figure, athlete in her own icon in her own right. She wasn't there for that. She wasn't there to speak to, you know, something that in general they could have talked about, brought up to him when he was alive. She was there on behalf to speak about the legacy of her friend, of her fellow athlete, and that's it. And to me, Gayle King, as a journalist, should have exercised journalistic integrity and understood, hey, this isn't the person to talk to this about, to speak to this about. This isn't the interview to bring this up in. Like I said, if she was sitting down with Jamel Hill, she was sitting down with Stephen A. Smith, Carrie Champion, I would have been like, okay, I get it. Makes sense. You're going to bring it up. But to sit down with Lisa Leslie, his friend, you know what I'm saying, this person who clearly was not here for that. She was just there in the capacity to speak about her fellow fallen athlete, LA icon friend, period. So I don't think that it was a good move on her part. Like I can't respect that part. I didn't like that part of it. What about yourself?
I guess I feel a little different. Because I felt like, number one, I think the biggest thing that Leslie had a copy of that interview. It wasn't that she went in blind, like she didn't know that that question was going to be asked. But I think as a friend, that would be the person that I would want someone to ask about something that like such a big blemish in his legacy. And I feel like, okay, who is better to address that than a good friend to be like, no, I don't think it will, you know, blemish. Because I feel like if you ask someone else, even a sports journalist, they could have went totally, I guess, left. Whereas Leslie kind of stirred it back. Okay, this is the right way that it should go. And this is how I want him to be remembered. So I guess, I don't know, for me, I'm like, I felt like she was the best person to ask because she was so close to him. She's a friend. She saw all of his work that was done afterwards, I guess, to atone for what happened. So I didn't, like, I don't know. I was like, I mean, for me, I was like, I would want someone, if I had like something like that in my past, that you could Google my name and that came up, that I would want my friend to address that because I feel like they would do me justice. And not just like a friend or an associate, but like a good friend, a longtime friend that would do me right. And they wouldn't go out there and be like, yeah, I'm just going to run your name out in the mud, or I'm just going to say something that could be taken the wrong way. I like the way that Leslie handled it. And I do think it was a question that should have been asked because I'm like, probably not too many people would probably speak on it or even have the opportunity to speak for the family or even Kobe himself, or will it do that? So I'm like, I do think the question should have been asked for the simple fact you can Google it. And when he passed away, that was some of the first things that a lot of journalists or people just in, you know, social media, that was the first thing that they were sharing. And we have a whole generation of young people that only know Kobe as a superstar, as a basketball player, and they don't know that, okay, you know, 17 years ago, this happened. So I'm like, and I think about that like in reference to either, you know, when you watch shows like Unsung or documentaries, you're like, what? I didn't know that happened because we weren't there. So I don't know. I just felt like she was the best person to ask. And I put myself like I said, if something like that were to happen, I want my friend to speak on it, not just some random person.
And see, I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, like I said, I just feel like I would have preferred if it came from, like I said, if she would have, if she was sitting down with a sports journalist, someone who was there during the time, who's sensitive to the subject. Like I seen an interview with Jamel Hill where she was on, I think it was Tamra Hall's show, and it was fairly recently after that, and she brought it up to Jamel, and Jamel pretty much handled it perfectly. She said, yes, some people are, are obviously it's going to be brought up. Some people are going to saw it as a blemish in his record because they didn't know whether they could trust him, that they should like Kobe or not like Kobe. But at the end of the day, the trial happened. He was acquitted. He came out, moved on, atoned for it, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, she handled it perfectly. And I didn't like the fact that, like I said, I agree with you that sometimes maybe you will want a friend, but I guess if I put myself in the situation, I wouldn't want my friends or family who are grieving me, who are going through that whole situation, to even have to be put in those type of predicaments to quote unquote defend me when I'm not here. You know what I mean? Because I guess I feel like at the end of the day, I'm gone, I'm dead, I'm buried. Well, he ain't even buried yet. That's a whole nother situation. But at the end of the day, I'm gone. You know, you had 17 years to talk to me about this, bring this up. So why address it to people who love, care about me, and are still currently grieving? I mean, we ain't even weeks off of the situation, who are still currently in the process of grieving me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I guess I don't know. I feel like at the same time, it wasn't like Leslie was shocked that she asked it. So I guess that's like my thing too. Is like it doesn't seem like she was shocked or like I can't believe you asked that, or even she's released like, oh, I couldn't believe that she asked that or she didn't say that. So that's why it made me think that like, okay, she knew what was going to be asked. She was comfortable with answering it. I don't know. And like I said, I just feel like, and then she agreed to be interviewed. So I just feel, I don't know. I just feel like it was a question that definitely should have been brought up, because people are going to keep bringing it up and dragging it. So I don't know. I just didn't, and of course, like I said, I just didn't think far as what she received after was totally uncalled for. And you can be upset, you can be mad, but for you to come out and be like, calls for violence, you call her out of her name. Snoop Dogg, I was really disappointed.
Absolutely.
And I know that he's like, oh, he, said, the word bitch in his rap. But I guess I was expecting more maturity from him.
Absolutely.
And I like I said, I was just super duper disappointed. I was like, I would never, like, I wasn't a super big Snoop Dogg fan, but I was like, I would never, ever buy anything, listen to anything, participate in anything that he does, because I'm like, you literally drag this woman for a question. And then to me, it goes back to, I'm just going to be honest, you give like black men like Kanye so much room for error and mistakes and grace and forgiveness, compassion, and you never call him out of his name. You never call for violence against him. This man bought Whitney's picture of her cabinet for $85,000, put it as an album cover on somebody else's. Like all of these egregious things, and you never spoke out, never said really. You might have typed a caption on Instagram about how it was messed up. And Whitney, by all rights, is a legend. But you never did that. But then when you come down to this, it's like, why did you do that? Like, what made you think that it was appropriate? And he was like, I'm speaking. And I saw the half of the little, I guess, cleanup that he was trying to do, which it really wasn't that. And he was like, I'm just speaking for the people. No, you're not. Because I'm like, why would you want to speak for people that would really say, oh, you should be dead because you asked that, blah, blah. Because you have to, like, it's going to be asked. And I'm like, just being honest, if it was another journalist of another color, it probably would have been asked way worse than that. It probably would have still went on way longer than what it did. So I'm like, for you to like, I just didn't like that. I didn't like boost. I didn't like like the comments on Shade Room and all of that. I'm like, it to me, it really wasn't called for. And I like it. Then we have to get in our head too that she is a journalist. She's an investigative journalist. What I do think the network kind of did push her out, like, I guess, fucked her over. Because I'm like, out of that 30-minute interview, that's the part that you highlight and then say, hey, we're gonna release this.
Right.
But
Go ahead.
I like that. For me, that didn't work. And I'm like, y'all calling for violence against her. You got all this to say, but I'm like, George Zimmerman's still walking around happy dory.
Right.
So I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't like the after effects at all, like the disrespect and the calling her out of her name and all of that. But I definitely, like I said, I just couldn't rock with it. I didn't see kind of like the integrity in it. It felt similar to me. It felt like a similar move. Like it's something that I would have expected from like a TMZ or something like that, like a Daily Mail. Even the entertainment, you know what I'm saying? Like it's something that I would expect from a white journalist. Like I would expect them to have that insensitivity because they don't give a shit. They're just looking for the story and everything like that. But I guess I just expect for us to kind of have that integrity and understand the sensitivity, understand the culture, as being a part of the culture, understanding what he meant to the culture, and just having the sensitivity and kind of the the wherewithal to kind of be like, okay, is this really the right person to ask this question? Is this how I should ask this question? Should I even be bringing it up at this point in time? That, you know what I'm saying, before the funeral's even taking place? You know what I mean? Like shit like that. I guess that's just kind of where I'm at. But I fully agree with you. Like I don't think that like people going over the top and jumping out the window on it with the death threats and all of the extra shit that they doing is out of order. Like Black women are not y'all enemies. Stop always attacking them for every, like you say, every little mistake or thing that they make. Like the first, you know what I'm saying? The first mistake that they make, people jump down our throats about every little thing. So I'm with you on that aspect of it. Like the afters of it is just like absolutely ridiculous. Like they got to cut the shit. Like it's unnecessary. It's uncalled for. Let's move on from the situation. Period.
And I just want to, and I just want people like I will say this: my time, especially my news feed on Facebook, because it's people that I grew up with, people that I went to school with, people that I work with. So it's mostly Black people. We share Black news, Black stories, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But kind of leap outside of that. And the reason why I say that is because we draw things and be like, well, they didn't interview Harvey. Gayle didn't do that to Harvey Weinstein. And it's like, first of all, the man has to agree to an interview. Since he has been on trial, he has not interviewed with one person. Gayle, Oprah, anybody else, not one person. And that's probably because his attorneys is like, be quiet. But we also have to take into the account, she did interview his victims. She did interview his attorney, and she did not let up on that lady, which she is a horrible person, by the way. But she didn't let up on her like she went in and coddled her like, oh, blah. She went in on her. But I'm like, those are not the things that we see, or we see like, oh, Harvey Weinstein doesn't have any coverage of his trial. And I'm like, what rock have you been hiding under? And it lets me know that you only draw news, maybe from the Shade Room or Ball Alert. And again, it's nothing wrong from getting news from there, but his trial is on TV every day. Or people like, oh, no one dragged Kirk Douglas and he's passed away. And I'm like, what part of Twitter have you been on? Because they have dragged Kirk Douglas over Natalie Wood, and she didn't even say yes or no, he actually did it, from what I read. So I'm like, just go outside of that, so that way, at least if you upset about it, which is rightfully so, I can understand fans being upset, people just upset that maybe it wasn't the time, but just be like, I'm upset about it. But I don't think, I don't know. I just don't get this whole they're trying to drag black men down because I'm like, we got somebody R. Kelly?
Yeah, I don't like and you know that I'm not a fan of that either. I do not like the whole comparison aspects of, well, why don't why don't they talk about white men, or why don't they do the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like the comparison aspects and all that shit like that. Stick to, you know what I'm saying? Stick to the topics at hand. One case is not the same as the other. You know what I'm saying? The situations ain't the same as the other. Let's cut that shit. Let's cut the, oh, you can't talk about R. Kelly if you're not gonna talk about so and so. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. No, oh well, Harvey Weinstein did this, so we should no, fuck that. R. Kelly still what R. Kelly is. We not riding with him ever. Period.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, let's that's what I mean. Like, let's not like you said, I definitely agree with you as far as like people getting their news sources. Like, please go beyond Instagram in the shade room and all of that. Please go beyond that for your news. If you are really concerned, like you claim you are, please step outside of just the entertainment news outlets for your news. You know what I mean? Step outside of that and get your news from other outlets before you go in and make all of the comments and assumptions and all of that jazz. But again, let's cut the comparisons and all this and shit like that, because one person's bad behavior don't negate another person's bad behavior.
And that's why I still ask that question all the time. It's like, so do you want to be on par with despicable white behavior and be like, oh, since Harvey's getting off, which they have literally thrown everything at that man except the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
I don't get what people like, oh, he getting off. And I'm like,
he's still on trial.
He's not. I'm like, he literally still on trial. And the fact that the trial, I think the defense just started a couple of days ago. And think about how long that trial has gone on. And I'm like, you can definitely see his decline. Like, I'm not going to knock it. And I'm like, they are not letting up. And I know we all sit and be like, oh, white people don't drag. I'm like, don't white people be dragging the hell out of them.
Yeah. And don't he have because he has this case in New York, don't he have another case pending in LA?
I think so. So I'm like, he's not, even if he gets, and I was like, that's why I feel like I'm like, somewhere is going to get him caught up somewhere. So I'm like, that's why I'm just like, when people like, they not even showcasing this. And I'm like, where are you watching news? Because I'm like, it's like live every day.
Yeah.
He in court. He in court. Here you go right here. So I'm like, it's a pretty hot case that people are waiting on. I'm like, it's just, the trial is taking long. It really didn't take long. Once it came out and all of his victims came, to the forefront, it really didn't take long for them to charge him. When you really look at the grand scheme of things, I'm like, it was like almost like, boom, these people come forward, let's go ahead and charge them.
Exactly.
So I'm like, it really didn't. Y'all acting like it took R. Kelly long. And y'all will still get on the internet and cry over R. Kelly like,
ooh, child.
It wasn't, facts. And even when people, another issue that I have, and I put on my status on Facebook, and people like, well, Jay-Z is not a journalist. But they're calling for Oprah to interview Harvey Weinstein, which he hasn't agreed to because of her proximity. They weren't the only people that he took pictures with or that he was close with in Hollywood. Y'all forget that these people are literally a circle. Yep. They hang around each other because it's not like, oh, he just picked over. I'm like, it was a circle. Yep. And think about how big his company is. He didn't just represent or was in cahoots with Oprah. He was represented and in cahoots with other Black celebrities. I'm like, but you don't call for them to be like, oh, because you was in close proximity with them, you should be able to get close to him and get word about what he done. No. And I like, that man is probably tight-lipped because he know anything you can say in court will be held against you. Robert was a fool. And I'm just going to be honest. Even though he is guilty as hell, he was a fool for agreeing to the interview.
Absolutely. You are correct.
So I'm like, I don't, and I was like, he was irrational. He was emotional. He was not prepared. I don't know what y'all was expecting. And I'm like, no one. And I'm like, even again, when it comes down to Black women, there's no forgiveness, no room for error, no room for bad judgment. It's automatically let's counsel. You're trash. You're against the Black man. But
And can we stop that narrative too? Because I am so sick. I am so sick of that. I'm so sick of that narrative on both sides. Okay, I am tired of y'all with this narrative of Black women are so against Black men and Black men are so against Black women. Because facts be true. Like, I don't know what Black men and women y'all hang around, but the Black men and women that I surround myself with and that I run into and that I'm around, that's not the case. We not having these conversations. We not do most of that shit takes place on social media sites. And I would like people to understand that social media, if you think of it like in a statistics way or like in a mathematical way, social media is what we call the outlier. So it's not the majority. It's not what most people think. It's the outlier. It's random ass people and random ass shit that, you know what I'm saying? It's not what the average Black person is thinking. It's just random ass people who, in all honesty, are just trying to get a reaction, go viral, or more than likely are just trolls who probably ain't even Black, if we're gonna be completely honest. So let's cut the bullshit.
That's how I try not to, like, unless I know the person, but that also goes down to I don't have a wide range of friends on Facebook for that very reason, because I'm like, we get so caught up in arguing that, and you be like, who is this person that's even shared this meme or shared this picture or paragraph or whatever, and you just so caught up in, going back and forth with each other trying to prove that you're right. But it's just like this whole narrative. I'm like, it'd be different if maybe they were real life going behind people or going at people that didn't have, like, R. Kelly is scum. And when people like they trying to bring him down because, and going back to Snoop Dogg, even when he said at the end, free Bill Cosby, I'm like, what?
Child.
So it's at the end, sir. What are you really mad about?
Ooh, child. Look.
I'm like, y'all are real mad at this, and you get on here on Beyonce's internet and get in the end say free Bill Cosby. And this man admitted to giving women pills while he's fully sober and then having sex with them. So where's the consent? Like,
Girl, a hot mess, needless to say. But anywho,
yeah.
So let's jump to because I don't think we talked about it last week. And this is gonna lead up to our Nicki versus Meek conversation. Basically the Super Bowl happened last weekend, and there was a whole bunch of shit going down during that whole situation. There was a whole lot of shenanigans going on. We saw your girl Meg Thee Stallion and G-Eazy out here in these streets looking real comfortable. People was in their feelings. Speaking of which, I really wanted to, before we jump into Nicki versus Meek, because that's where I'm going next. First and foremost, your thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime, or Super Bowl in general, Super Bowl halftime.
I mean, I ain't really care. I mean, even people with the backlash, like, oh, we saw, but I'm like, y'all act like y'all ain't never seen nobody cheeks before, and I'm like, it's the Super Bowl halftime. It's not supposed to be damn Sesame Street. Move on. Find y'all something better to complain about. I really didn't watch it. I just looked at like the review. And I'm not a fan of J-Lo at all. So
yeah. Exactly. I'm with you. I just wanted to see if there was any other take, because like for me, I was like, that wasn't a show for me. I don't care. Definitely, like I said, I am not a fan of Jennifer Lopez at all. Y'all know my feelings on Jennifer Lopez, okay? I feel like she is one of the biggest culture vultures ever to exist on planet Earth. So I'm definitely not a fan of Jennifer Lopez at all.
Well, what that butt that people be, what? I don't get it. When people be like, she got a butt, I'm like, I'm confused.
Child,
Baby,
listen.
I'm like, I don't get it. Like, at all.
Ugh, you and me
Like,
both.
she has a nice figure. I was like, I wouldn't take that away from her. She's in very good shape. But, okay. I don't know. Perplexed.
Hey, listen. Yeah. I'm with you. I've never understood where the whole obsession with her butt has been. You know, like you said, she does have a amazing figure, but aside from that, I don't get it either.
Okay.
But I really feel like she should have had Ashanti out there to sing some of them.
Yeah, I mean,
to sing a couple of them hooks.
Songs you get. But anywho.
Exactly. Also from Super Bowl, like I said, Meg Thee Stallion, G-Eazy. I didn't understand what people's issue about it was. Like, so what? Meg is out here living life, doing her thing. I will say, I saw a bunch of like comments and people. I saw two sets of comments. I saw people who were saying Meg drinks too much. She needs to slow. Basically, people thinking that they her doctors or psychologists and saying that she's drinking a lot because she's struggling from her loss of her mom and she drinking too much and she need to chill. Blah 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 blah. And then of course I saw the other comments of, oh, black women out here praising another black sister being with a white dude, but when a black dude do it, blah 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 blah. So, what is your take on those two situations?
I feel like when it comes down to her driving the boat, it's literally a shot of liquor, even if it's a shot, because it's not like she's just pouring. And you only see that when she's at shows. And I'm like, she can't drink that much and her stomach is that flat. We just gonna be 100% honest.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, for you going to being like, oh, she drinks too much, blah. Sir, you see her take a shot at a show. I don't get that. And I'm like, again, yeah, no. So I'm like, and you don't see her drinking any other time. And I want to say if she's not vegan, I know at one point she was.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I've seen her, she takes very good care of herself. She has a very good diet. And you see her take a shot or two on the stage during a show. Or when she's, posting something on Instagram for likes, which we don't know when that was done.
Yeah.
We just know, hey, she posted it today. And with her and G-Eazy, I'm like, I had already, and I was like, this is like they got a song or something coming out. This is like promo. And I just hate that people, every time they see somebody link up or they go to dinner, even in their case, they share like a little moment, which was playful. It's like, oh, she got to be with him and they got to be, I don't know. Interracial relationships don't really do it for me. Did I see people like, oh yeah, get it, Meg? Whatever. I didn't see them like far as get it because he was a white dude. It was just more like, you out here having fun. So I don't know.
For me, as far as the drinking thing is concerned, I'm so sick of these internet psychologists and doctors and shit telling people how about how they have drinking problems and psychological problems, shit like that. Okay, just because you are on the internet does not make you qualified to be somebody's doctor or a psychologist. Cut the shit. Okay, that's number one. And then as far as like you said with the interracial relationships and shit like that, my whole take or my big thing is again, like, I am so sick and tired of people taking the shit that happens on the internet and applying it to everything and everybody. Newsflash, if black folks really gave a fuck about interracial relationships, there wouldn't be so many of them. Like, it wouldn't be, you know what I mean? If black people really gave a fuck, like if black women really cared about black men dating outside their race, or vice versa, if black men really cared about black women dating outside their race, interracial relationships wouldn't be so popular. Like people really just don't give a fuck. And so just because you see some trolls and shit on the internet starting all that race bait bullshit, stop applying that to real life and getting it, especially to like to, you know, celebrities and people who have platforms and shit. Stop getting on your fucking platform and spewing that bullshit, because it's just that. It's bullshit. Black women don't give a fuck if black men are dating outside their race, and black men do not give a fuck if black women are dating outside their race. So cut the bullshit and stop with all of that shit. Stop getting on your platform spewing the nonsense, because that shit irritates the fuck out of me. That's all I want to say. Now to the moment we've all been waiting for. Nicki versus Meek. We saw them have their little tit for tat in the store. And then that happened, I want to say over a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever. Then we get to Super Bowl weekend. Nicki basically returns to social media. She's serving all these looks. She looked like she having a good time. The next thing you know, we have this Nicki versus Meek shit. And that shit got ugly. It started, I guess, with Meek liking or tweeting something about Nicki's husband. Then Nicki just went completely off. It ended with him dragging her or talking about her brother's trial, to her talking about him beating on women. Needless to say, it got nasty and ugly. What was your take on it?
I guess my biggest, like, one of the big things is, for both of y'all in other relationships, why y'all get this energy like this to even be going back and forth to each other? That's one of my biggest things. And then, of course, when you break it down, it's like, Meek, of course, you got a big fan base. It's gonna be called out if you like, retweet, anything about Nikki husband. Like, just why even do it, bro? And then I felt like what he said when he was like, well, I need to stop arguing because my girl got a hoe. But I would be pissed off if you on here on the internet arguing with your ex-girlfriend. Like, why you got all this energy towards this? And even for Nikki, like, why you got all this energy? Then y'all putting out business in the street. It was just, to me, I'm like, bro, y'all, what's wrong? Y'all gotta chill.
Yeah. So for me, I thought it was immature on both ends. Like, I didn't like it. Like, I'm with you. I didn't understand. Even going back to when they had the altercation in the store, I don't understand. If I don't fuck with you and you don't fuck with me, we don't even need to interact. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, where's all this energy coming from on both ends? Like, if we don't fuck with each other, we don't fuck with each other. Why all this interaction? And I'm with you. Like, Meek has to know what he's doing. He knows you have this fan base, you have all these people, they're gonna be watching your page, watching your likes, this, that, and the other. So why do it? If not just to get under her skin, to bug her, because her fans, they're whatever, all them little stands gonna get down there tweeting about it right there. Oh, Nikki, do you see what he out here doing? Woo, woo, woo. And then that's gonna set her off, which it did. And my second takeaway, or the thing that I did not like, is I didn't like on the part of Nikki where she was throwing out the accusations of him beating her, because of the simple fact that I feel like if y'all, even say when you're in a battle and stuff like that, don't throw out them type of accusations, especially if you're not going to do anything with it. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to do nothing to kind of back it up, you ain't pursuing no charges or anything. Like, it just seems like you are throwing out accusations in order to bring out, because us, if we hear somebody's getting beat on, we gonna be outraged and we going in and we talking shit. You know what I'm saying? So don't throw out those accusations. And then I do not like how Nikki, I'm sorry, how Meek threw the accusation or the talk about her brother.
Yeah.
I haven't liked that in general, period, coming from any of the people, because I feel like Nikki is not her brother. The disgusting things that her brother did are not her, you know what I'm saying, aren't on her plate. That's his issues. That's the shit he got to deal with. That's why his ass is in prison. But for people to constantly throw that on her name, I don't get it. I don't like it, and I don't understand it. I don't get why. And like you, and it also comes back to with women, because I don't understand why when it's a girl or when it's a female, we throw those type of accusations around. How many dudes out here got dudes who they done committed some type of illegal crime, maybe kill somebody, but you still running around talking free my nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You still out here putting money on their books. You still out here paying for their lawyers and shit. So that's why I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Because people were like, well, she did pay for his attorney. And how many of that's her brother? I mean, I don't agree with it. Like, for me, I would have been like, nah, fuck you. I ain't coming off my coin. Deal with your own shit.
I will say, and what I feel in that regard is, if she didn't do it, the mama would have done it, and they would have been going out of the mama pocket, which Nikki would have still had to replace.
Yeah.
Which is like, so, and I think for the most part, the mama name is on most of the papers.
Yeah.
Which you probably know Nikki financed, but shit, it was going to come from her regardless, because it's like, I'm not going to let my mama sink, and her mama probably feel like, okay, even if he going to jail,
that's my son.
Right, that's my son, and let's at least give him a fighting chance. And I can't, me personally, I'm not a parent, so I can't say, I can say now, like, I wouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. But I can't say, okay, I wouldn't want to give my son a fighting chance. Be like, okay, at least he have, maybe he get to choose the facility that he's at.
Yeah. Like we see it every day. Something like that.
Right. So I'm like, I'm not going to knock that, and I'm not going to knock her for being like, okay, at least let him go in there with a defense team. Because we know how DAs and all of that get down. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I'm kind of torn on that one, because it's still, like I said, she still would have financed it either way.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand the hypocrisy of people, because like I said, y'all niggas out here every day knowing your man did some foul ass illegal shit, talking about free my homie, put money on his books, paying for his attorney. What is the difference?
Yeah, 17 murders under his belt, for sure. And y'all still be out here free my nigga. You to raise bail money, you got attorneys, all this.
Exactly.
And so only thing we know is that she got an attorney.
Yeah.
And for what he did, he still gonna need one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it ain't like she went out and hired, the best of the best.
Exactly. But like I said, I just don't like that they throwing that against her, because she is not her brother. She didn't commit the crime. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. But anywho, that's really all the hot topics I have for this week. What about you? Anything else?
No, that's fine.
All right. So then let's jump into the relationship topics for this week.
All righty. I guess mine, XO Nicole. But the title of the article was basically Love is Love for Black women who choose love of a color. And I guess I've seen it like recently, just like more prevalent in like the media and commercials and all with like interracial dating, or it's not just like this Black man, Black woman thing anymore. So do you feel pressure to like date outside your race with all of this new imagery that's popping up?
No. No. I'm not influenced by things in that way, in that type of regard. So those type of things would never kind of like, push me one way or the other. I will say that as I get older, And I don't, and I'm trying to kind of decide, because I think as you get older, if you haven't met certain I'm sorry, you haven't met certain like life goals or whatnot, or in regards to like your romantic relationships, your ideals on your romantic relationships and things like that start to change. So I will say that maybe as I get older, I am becoming more open to different possibilities. But and I guess I've never kind of really been closed off to dating interracially. I just never have, honestly. Just never found a dude that I was like, oh yeah, let me do that. But again, who knows? But no, I don't feel any pressure one way or the other. You know what I mean? What about yourself? If you were still single.
I would say for me, it was no. And I guess my biggest thing, I always knew, I was like, it has to be a black man. Whether he was like Black American, that was always up for like discussion. But it has to be a black man. And that's because I want black children, evolutionary. So it had to be black. Like even when I saw like it pop up at first, and I felt like, I will say this, with interracial dating, when it comes to black women, I felt like it skipped a step where it went from, oh, here are like a few sprinkle images of like a black man and black woman, then boom, it's like black women with everybody. It's like, hold on, stop, rewind. Can we get, positive imagery of black women with black men and, like happiness? Can we get them on like the box of Pampers, Cheerio commercial? And it just like skipped and just went interracial in like a short time span. So I was like, okay, I guess. So yeah, but other than like pressure, no. I don't know. He has to be black for me.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, for me, like so many things in my pool are starting to change. Like, I'm even getting to the stage where I'm like, am I even gonna get married now? Like, I might not even get married. I might just like say fuck it and stay single and just have me a couple maintenance men. Come through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, it is what it is at this point. But yeah, like I've never felt any pressure one way or the other. So yeah. I mean, commercials and all that. I think that the reason it's occurring though is because like if you see all these little studies or whatever of what humans are going to look like in like 20, 50, 60, blah blah blah, it's more of like a mixture. Like I guess the photo they always show is like it's like a mixed person of all these different kind of ethnicities or whatever like that. So I'm assuming that maybe that's why we're starting to see more prevalence of just like interracial everything. But yeah, I don't. Who cares? I mean, I really honestly I don't. I honestly don't think that imagery in that way has a major effect on people, because if we look at the kind of the numbers, black men and black women are still predominantly marrying black men and black women. You know what I mean? Like they still have a very high marriage rate amongst black men and black women. So I don't think it really affects one way or the other. I think that if anything, it leads to kind of like those nonsensical debates, just because people don't, like you said, consume their news or their their information from outside of entertainment sites. So yeah. So for me, it's less of a relationship question, but sort of kind of relates to relationships. But it is kind of like a lifey question as well. Okay. My question is, what thing or things make you feel the most confident as a person?
I don't.
And it doesn't have to be anything like super deep either. It could be like surface, superficial too.
I would say it's gonna be. I would say for me, love, happiness, and money. It's like those is when I feel most confident in life. Like because I feel like everything else like comes with it, so it's just natural. But that would be when I feel most confident. Yeah.
Okay. So for me, it's like a mix, like mine is like some superficial shit and then some shit that's gonna be like that might be deep to some people. So superficially, things that make me feel the most confident as a woman in general, my hoop earrings and having my nails and toes done. Like if I have my nails and toes done and I have my hoop earrings, I feel like I can conquer the world. Like I just be out here in these streets. Like my hair could be all over the place. I could have no makeup on, but bitch, if I got them hoop earrings on, okay, I'm still out here. I still pull your man, okay. But and then like on like a more deeper level, I would say also having my income, having enough money to be able to support myself and provide for me, so that when I do, like you said, like when I come to the table, whoever I'm with can recognize, hey, she got her own, so I need to at least be at that standard or at that level. And also just being well, well traveled and well read and stuff like that. Like like I said, I try to read. I haven't been doing it as much as I should currently because I am figuring out, thinking about going back to school and all that. So I'm trying to kind of go through all of that mess and figure out, balance it out if it's worth it. Because I don't have any student loan debt. If I want to try, you know what I mean? Like I'm figuring all of that shit out, and that's a lot. So I haven't had the time to kind of sit down and read like I should. But those things make me feel the most confident because if you're well read, well traveled, you always can have good conversations with pretty much anybody from any type of walk of life.
True.
All right. So that's all I have for relationships today. Anything else you want to add or?
No.
All right. So, any like before I give the nerd moment of the week, any like new music, TV, blah blah blah, anything like that that you want to talk about, bring up, address?
Nothing for music. I have started the Who Killed Malcolm X documentary on Netflix. I'm probably like the first episode in, and I guess what sticks out to me, just being just this one episode in, is that how him and Martin both knew that they were kind of at their final stages in life before they were assassinated. And I guess like to me, that's like a spiritual connection that you have to have and that you're okay with it because it both seem like, listen, I'm okay with this and I'm just going to carry on until it's my final time. Because even listening to like the Malcolm, it's like he could have went home. He could have chose not to do it and he really wasn't even feeling well. So it makes me like really sit down and think like both of these, they literally were not feeling well. And I even think that was more than just a physical thing. I just think mentally, emotionally, all of that, both of them were not feeling well, where they probably should have been, more focused on themselves and their health and being, healthy, that they just kept going until like, listen, this is it. So I guess that's like really just really stuck out to me with just watching those documentaries. So
Man, I saw that pop up on my thing and I was like, ooh, I gotta be in a certain place because to watch it because man, whenever I watch certain things, it puts me in certain moods. So I was like, I gotta be in a certain place to start it and watch it. But I will finish it before the end of Black History Month. That is for sure.
And I've always, I think with Martin, with Malcolm, it's more of a mystery than Martin, because we know with Martin, even before the FBI came and took responsibility, we knew, like, bro, this is
set up.
all government. Whereas with Malcolm, you don't know if it was government, Nation of Islam. You don't know if it was Nation of Islam, and the government is like, hey, you did us, a justice, and we'll kind of let it go. Like,
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you. So it's definitely going to be a good watch. So keep us posted. Keep watching it. I'm going to probably pick it up sometime either during this week or next week. But keep us posted. Let us know as you continue on through the series your thoughts on it, because I'm definitely interested.
Definitely. Will do.
So for me, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the nerd moment of the week. Last week I talked about the October faction on Netflix, and I forgot to kind of give in my review, I forgot to give a grade to it. The grade I will give it, I give it a solid B. Because again, I liked that the episodes weren't like a full hour. I like the that we had some black leads. I enjoyed obviously a black director, Director X. I love to see when people transition from different, from fields, start as a famed music director, and now he's kind of moving into television and movies. So salute to him on that. The reason I gave it a B is because, again, it started out a little slow for me, and also because it was predictable. And when I say that to say that I think even somebody who isn't like me, who watches supernatural stuff all the time, sci-fi down, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they would have picked up on, even if you're not into stuff like that, if you sit down and watch it, I think you would pick up on the story real quick and kind of be like, okay, yeah, this is kind of, I know what's going to happen. It's kind of predictable. And then this week I watched Locke and Key, which is another program on Netflix. It's based on a graphic novel as well. It was really, really, really good. I was shocked that I was going to enjoy it, because I generally do not enjoy television programs with like younger, like teenage kids and all that stuff like that. Like, it's not my favorite, because I feel like sometimes they can get a little cheesy and teeny boppy. But I definitely give this one a solid A, because it was just good. It was suspenseful. It was good. Like, it kept me engaged throughout the whole like 10 episodes. I was engaged. And I will say that, unless for me, I figured out, because there's a twist in it. I figured out the twist, but again, I watch a shit ton of supernatural sci-fi stuff, and I feel like if somebody who isn't into that stuff watched it, they would have gotten to the end and be like, oh my God, they wouldn't have figured it out, like the twist or anything like that. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but definitely, if you get the time to check it out, it's really good. Like, it'll keep you engaged throughout the whole story, because you'll be like, what the fuck? Like, did that really happen? Blah, blah, blah. But it was the kid aspect of it, because like they have like a younger brother and all that. That part is a little irritating, just because badass kids in movies and TV irritate the hell out of me. But other than that, it was a really, really good series. And that is it for me. That's my nerd moment of the week. Anything else on your end, Fallon?
Nothing else for me.
All right. So just lastly, I want to thank you guys for listening to the Pretty Nerdz podcast. Remind you to go to our YouTube channel, Pretty Nerdz Podcast, and subscribe. We will be having some exclusive content just for the YouTube channel, so make sure you are subscribed to that. Make sure you visit the website, prettynerdspodcast.com. That is nerds with the Z. Just to get more Pretty Nerdz content and, keep up with this in general. So again, thank you guys for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye, guys.
Good night.